prepared for winter.
What's that?
Get us prepared for winter.
Oh, I know.
Right.
It felt like fall the last couple of days.
Oh my.
Oh, it
Since
was
Sunday.
nice. It's nice.
So, so the big issue is, I'm sorry, excuse me. So James had called me up, I don't know what's been now, 3 weeks ago or
Yeah.
something, and it said, hey, you know that I'm part owner of this business, right? And I said, no, not according to Craig. And he goes, have you looked at the Secretary of State site under this thing, the two guns transport thing? So I went ahead and sure enough, he's registered with you on that, and there was a document. So, and I'll show these here to you in a minute. But did you ever give James permission to register that business?
No.
Okay. Because again, this one, have you seen the documents?
You sent it
Yeah.
to me.
Oh, okay, that's right. Because it shows him registered, and you registered as, I guess they call it registered agents.
But
But it
that's
shows-
no good anymore because if we didn't.
Oh, well, I understand that, but the point is it's just an issue I have to deal with because it could matter to the DA, even if
Okay.
it doesn't show that. So this document here, which was e-filed back in February of 2018, you didn't give him permission to do this?
No.
Okay.
We drew up, so from what I remember, is, so when I come out here, there's work comp issues, like in any business.
Right.
Okay, so under California or Colorado law, the same, doesn't matter, because he actually was driving in California. We drew up a paper between us that states, and I signed it, that states he gets 25% of the gross income of the truck that he operates.
Right.
That way, at the end of the year, we 1099 him, and so the way the bylaws read is your first generate, which is your son, brother, sister, something like that, you don't have to carry work comp on them.
Okay.
So that legal document was drawn up. But as far as all this stuff, I didn't even know this existed till you guys brought it
So
up.
the paper you're talking about is not this one here, and where it identifies will receive 25% of what the gross income will be monthly, and says for both you and James.
Yeah, I didn't even know this paper existed until you brought it up.
Let me just.
She's gonna explain another part of this to you.
Okay, when we moved out here, we were going to change the name to Transport.
Yeah.
And it got to be where we'd already started getting checks from other companies under trucking. We never stopped using that Two Guns Trucking. So the bank kind of stayed at Transport because I already had some coming in.
So is that why the bank name is Two Guns Transport?
Because it was just a big legal, it wasn't really legal, it was just too much of a hassle to change it. So I had all our checks being ACH'd into it. But then there came a point where there was a couple checks we got out of California with our truck. I couldn't cash in that account. So they had me we opened a personal account of Two Guns Trucking, DBA
Okay.
Craig. We left it at that. It was more of a personal thing. So I could cash them and transfer the money over. if I
And who
needed
all
it.
was on that?
Just me and Craig.
Does that account still exist?
No, I got rid of it when we
Okay.
transferred everything over into the new one.
Which is the Two Guns Transport LLC, right?
No,
No,
it never
that-
was LLC.
That never existed.
Ever. Never existed with us.
I think on the bank account it says that.
No, it
No.
doesn't. It just says
Nope.
Two Guns Transport. That's
I have
what
to
it
look
says.
at that again because
Yeah.
I think I remember
We
seeing
never-
yesterday.
So
But I'll-
let me explain how the LLAC come into play.
Yeah.
This is super simple.
Okay.
So, because I found out a lot of really cool stuff here recently. So, I told you that we had hired an attorney, or they did, because that was part of the deal. And I met with Brittany, and there was a draft being drawn up to where they were going to start. She would be doing the billing.
Right.
James would operate the company, and I would still own it till the day I died.
So he'd just be the manager.
In a sense, yeah.
That's all he'd be as a manager. So that never got done because she got caught stealing from the company.
Okay.
So the thing is, Brittany jumped the gun on this. She went and opened up a bank account that says Two Guns Transport LLC. and she can go open all the bank accounts up that she wants legally, right?
Right.
But that DOT number that they used belongs to me. I own it.
It's Two Guns
So,
Trucking.
but the one she opened up is not the one that
No,
has the
no.
funds coming from.
No,
No,
the money
no,
that
no.
she stole out of the bank, no, that's not an LLC company for number one. See, I mean, I'll explain this. When we were originally going to split the company, our insurance was going to go up between $20,000 and $30,000 a year, and I pulled the plug on it.
Okay.
We were only going to split it for the simple fact was I thought when we moved to Colorado, because I still had California trucks, that it would cheaper. The insurance would be a lot cheaper out here versus California, right? Well,
Right.
I was wrong, and so it's obvious the Secretary of State paperwork went delinquent 5/18 of 2019
Right.
because we've never drawn a paycheck from any client
Yes, it's
under
transport.
Two Guns Transport. It's always been under Two Guns Trucking.
We just let the
There's
bank account.
never been
that
any
name on it.
paperwork for the feds through my authority through True Guns Transport. Never, not one, has
Okay.
ever been filed.
Everything's been filed
That
under Two
company-
Guns Trucking.
Right, that
And
company
so
was
that was just a
dissolved.
bank account that we just never got together. You know, it was just
She opened it up, a checking
now
account
that
says
LLC. She just did that in the last 6 months.
Okay,
you know,
and that's
during
one of the
that period.
bank accounts that's over at.
Yeah,
over at-
she was going to transfer everything over into that account, but she was supposed to give us access to it.
and she never did.
No,
No.
she refused.
So you have no idea
to.
what's in that bank account, or
No,
I'm
I
still
am-
waiting for the bank records, just so
So
you know.
something else that goes along with that. So my clients, who I work for, she was calling them and emailing them,
Right.
telling them to start transferring. And I've already spoke with them and told them there's a good chance they'll be subpoenaed on
Yeah.
this. That they had contacted my clients and told them, hey, you need to start depositing the money into this account. That's illegal. She can't do that.
Right. Could you? I remember you telling me about the phone calls,
Yeah.
but I didn't know about the emails. Could you
Alright.
get them to forward those emails to me?
We can see if we
We
can
can
get
see.
it. I don't
Okay.
know what.
I just
See,
talked
this
to
whole
John,
thing
the
has just become
superintendent,
one big
again last
mess.
week, and I told him, look, this is going a different direction than I thought. I said, there's a really good chance you guys might be involved because James, I found this just out in the last couple months, or month. James has been telling everybody for quite some time that he bought the company from me. And I have multiple witnesses.
Who's he told?
Everybody.
Like including your work
So the
employees?
my two drivers right now,
Norm and Willie?
oh yeah, they're willing to fill
I'll
out
tell you
paperwork.
I do need to talk to them, so I need to get
So
there.
I
Norm
just
probably
found
won't.
this.
Why?
I think Norm is
He's really so.
He's
I don't care.
retired.
I know he says that, but I'm going to still contact
Yeah,
him.
you need to call. But anyway, so Willie was just telling me last week. I didn't know this. I don't know why it took so long for it to come up. But he
just
told
one
me
of those
like the
things.
fuel card thing. James is RW. So James told him and Norm the exact same day, exact same time, that hey, I bought the company from my dad. He's going to get a percentage, but I want you to start using these fuel cards.
What is Norm's last name again?
McCall.
McCall.
I
He
just
lives
drew-
in Florence?
No,
I
they
have
live
a-
in Cotopaxi.
I have a copy of his driver's license. on
Well,
my
you
phone
don't need
if
that.
we need it.
You know.
So,
He is a.
Oh yeah, all my clients where we load, everybody's since because I had to go back and drive for a couple days while Norm was off for surgery or
Find
whatever,
that
doctor
last one,
appointments, and he's like, they're like, hey, I thought James bought the company from you. And I'm like, no, I don't know where you guys got this at, but he's been telling so many lies. It's oh my god, it's gotten really bad.
See, and the problem with that is that they jumped the gun, and I had told them
Yeah.
both several times, do not do anything till we have the paperwork in place. I said, and then it'll only take about a month to get everything over,
Switch it over.
switch it over. I said
But they
that
were
we have
never gonna own it.
never taken our DOT number or anything out of Two Guns Trucking. It's always been under that.
okay.
So this was what we were gonna do.
Right.
What we were gonna do. So I went back in.
But you're saying you didn't do this?
No.
No,
Okay,
never.
no, I do have a question about that, Sandy, unless you want to finish your thought there, and then I'll
Yeah,
ask
let me
you.
just. Yeah. So we had done a DOT for transport, and the other one, the MC number. I never got it, so I went in and I canceled out the DOT number. because we never used it, and I didn't want to pay for it every year, So I dropped all that. I dropped the ball on this through the system because we weren't going to use that name. We stayed with Two Guns Trucking. Nothing has changed except for the bank account. But to me, that has nothing to do with what the business was being paid. Because when we apply, well, I don't know if you call it applied, but when we go through these companies, they needed all the information, and it was always Two Guns Trucking.
Okay.
And they did question me a couple times. I said, well,
The bank questioned you a couple times?
No, the bank never questioned
Who
me.
questioned you?
Clients would say, well, your account says transport. I said, well, we were going to change the name. I need to get the bank squared away, and I haven't done that yet. They were fine with that. But that's always been trucking.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with transport. It was a name we were just kind of...
So I still haven't, since you're talking about the bank, I haven't received the bank records yet. I'm still waiting for that. But is James listed on that?
No.
Two Guns Transport account at all? That's your business account? Okay.
Nope.
But Brittany is, only because she's a card holder, right?
Right.
Okay.
We never, because James wasn't around, and so we
Well, it
just...
wouldn't have mattered if he was.
So,
Well, we just didn't do it.
Yeah.
We just had us three because I needed a backup.
Okay.
She was my backup. And if the courts need me to say that, I will. She was a backup. She was to help when we
Sure.
travel.
right.
But she took, to me, she just took advantage of it the last 6 months. And I had told them both, quit using the card for personal use because I'm going to stop it all. And she just kept using it. So she had in her mindset she was going to own this company and take it over. And she was doing it way before the legal papers were even done.
And was that before you started seeing a bunch of use and you just saw a few uses?
I was seeing a few, and I'd say, you can't use it for personal use. And she would quit using it for a while. It'd be one or two. It wasn't a lot of money, so I never made too much out of it. But then I started seeing more and more, and I was trying to get her to stop, and that's when he got involved in
Did
it.
she admit to you that she was using it?
No. She just said...
Well, I mean, when you'd say to her,
She
you
wouldn't
need to
say
stop using
anything,
it.
let's put it that way. She just, and I told James, she needs to stop.
And what
he
did
did.
James say to you?
Oh, I'll tell her she's probably using, because they have their personal account there. She used the wrong card. That was the excuse I always got. I used the wrong card.
Okay. So, who actually, the bank account that I'm talking about, the actual Two Guns Trucking, although it says transport, the business account, who actually set up that bank account?
Me, her, and Craig.
Okay. Kind of going back to this document here. Okay. So originally it was set up in 2018, and that was, when you look at that original document, it shows like a document like this, but it shows the other person as Brittany Walker.
It does?
Okay. Yeah, the
Where's
first
her
one.
name
The
come
first
up
one.
in this?
Well, that's the first. Then in May of 2018, there's called a statement of correction, and it says registered agent information was corrected, and the corrected one was then James Walker.
Really?
Yeah.
So they did that on their own?
I don't know. That's what I'm asking you.
I never was a part of this.
Okay, and then this is the other question I would ask. So what I wanted to figure out was, because his contention is, hey, we were partners in this. So I went ahead and did an Open Records Act request. Turned out it didn't have to quite do that, but I went through the process anyway with the Secretary of State. And I said, okay, how did these get paid for? Because I want to see. Well, it shows that the correction, which was $10, that was done by Brittany Walker. So she used her card to do that. But the first one says Sandra Walker. It says the credit card belongs to Sandra Walker. They paid the $50.
We set this up. Let me just be honest. I think we set this up because we thought we were going to go that route back
Yeah,
then.
I understand that part.
But we never went that route because it just wasn't working. Because what I found out is to change the DOT and all the other stuff for trucking was a pain. And then we decided no. So I let it. I just pushed it away.
Okay, well, let me ask Sandy about this then, okay? So Sandy, your best recollection is that this document is legitimate in that you guys actually did this, but then you let it lapse.
Right, because we didn't need it anymore. We weren't going to go that route because we found out to switch your DOT and your federal stuff,
Right.
it was a lot of work.
So then this is the question.
You did sign that.
Yeah,
Terry.
I said I'm at the very beginning.
Yeah, but it never went anywhere
But it
with
never
it.
went anywhere.
No, that was it. We
Because
just
there's
let
never
it go.
been a two-gun transport.
So
we
we just
never
stayed with
had an
trucking.
insurance.
But the problem was the bank.
We never had
We
insurance.
just left the bank account
Can I show
saying
you something?
transfer.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we never had insurance. It's an inactive company. Let me put it that
In
way.
other words, that big company, although it was registered, is never did business.
No,
right.
never did.
Never did business.
Never
But
did.
even if it was true, even if it was true, I want to show you something. It should be on here. I think it was like page 5. It's one of the boxes that's marked. So even if it was true, it states right in here that you have to have handwritten permission from an agent of the business in order to withdraw capital out of the account.
This right here.
Yeah. So is what I'm saying. Let's say, even though it isn't true, let's say
Okay.
it is true. I want to see all the handwritten permissions from myself, James, or Brittany for every single transaction for her withdrawing cash for personal use out of my bank account. Because even if this was true, I got her on that right there.
Right.
And I even went to a
So you're
civil-
saying this is not true because
It's not true.
It's not the
We
business.
never went.
it's not the business.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm just saying that if
Okay.
it was, then
I
it
know what they're
wouldn't
trying
matter.
to do is make it look like
Yeah, it
we
wouldn't
had
matter
this,
because
but we
there's
never
no
used
written
that.
permissions for
I
her
just
to
never
legally
changed the
withdraw
bank account,
capital
which
out
I
of
probably
it.
should have. I just never got to that point because he was never home and this and
Okay, can I
that.
finish, please?
Okay.
Even if it was true, on the legal side of it, you would have to have a handwritten permission from what the Secretary of State requirements are
Right.
to withdraw capital if you're not the owner.
Right.
So it doesn't matter, even though it's a non-existing business, everything that she did is 100% wrong. James is just trying to figure out a way to get her out of this, and to be honest with you, I'm trying to figure out a way to implicate him. Because it's pretty obvious that he knew what was going on all this time.
Okay.
Especially all the crap that I've heard about him telling everybody that he bought the business from me and given my drivers permission to use cards that I didn't even know existed.
Right. So even though you guys had, can I go back to this? So when you guys signed this thing and you put this, did you even know it was going to get registered on the site? On the Secretary of State? Well, you had to have because
Yeah,
your
yeah.
card was
they,
used.
They do all the paperwork. I don't do
Yeah,
that.
but when we did it, because we had all intentions to make it transport, all
Okay.
intentions. And then it just kind of fell through the cracks. After a couple months, I'm realizing, oh my God, I'm not going to switch all that garbage out,
Yeah.
you know? So I let it lapse.
So-
So,
so-
we never used that name.
Gotcha. But this is still the question for me. So originally, according to this document, if it's legitimate, which you said it is, for a different business, you were going to make him a partner under the new business name. But then that didn't. But you've told me since then that you didn't want them to be partner. So reconcile this for me is what I'm asking you to do, Craig, because this would be a question that a defense attorney is going to ask you.
Right.
So you agreed in 2018 in February that James is going to be a partner with you, but then this business lapses after a year because it never goes under that name. How come you didn't go through with the partnership with the current business?
Why didn't I?
Uh-huh.
Because I wasn't going to make anybody a partner of mine under something that I worked my whole life for number one.
Okay. Well, I mean, this would say no, you actually intended to.
So
You see what I'm saying?
okay, let me put it this way. When we originally started this and I was going to split the company,
Yeah.
okay, I was going to let James take the truck that he was operating,
Right.
and me and him were going to become a partner for the one truck. And if we could build that business with that one truck to more trucks like I did with Two Guns Trucking,
So you'd have two businesses.
then we would have two separate businesses.
Two Guns Transport and Three
But
Guns.
so at the very beginning, I was told I'd have to apply for a new DOT number, do this, do that. We did all that, right? Well, when I called the insurance company and told them, hey, I'm going to put this one truck over, they told my insurance was going to go up like 20. I think don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure it was like right at $22,000 a year. And I told James, there's no way I can afford that. This is not going to happen.
Okay.
I said, so you'll just drive your truck, I'll drive my truck, and we'll see what the future brings us. So 5 years later, because I'm wanting to retire, I told James, me and James and Brittany and Sandy all agreed last year that we'd start teaching Brittany how to do the billing.
Right.
And I'd make James manager, where he'd do all the dispatching and everything. And I would own the company till the day I died. That's what that draft from that attorney was going to say.
Which was never signed.
Was
and
never
then
signed. I never even got to see the draft.
Can you contact that attorney and get a copy of that draft for me?
Sure. I know.
Okay.
I don't know what his name is, but Brittany set all that up. I just showed up for a meeting. It's over there by Safeway, across the street from Safeway in Canyon.
Okay. Yeah, if you could, get a copy of that for me.
Yeah, so, and the draft actually, his notes for the draft. I
Okay.
never even got to review it. I never made
Okay.
it that far. The draft was gonna state that, I get 75% of the company till the day I die. If I die before she does, she gets 50% of the company. And no matter what happens, that Cameron Walker and Scott Walker get 10% of the company.
Okay.
That's how the draft was gonna be wrote up.
Okay. Okay.
We
But-
don't even know if it was ever done. We never.
We
heard
don't know
back.
if the draft, the attorney never contacted me, and Brittany never said that the attorney, because she's actually suing me for the fees for that attorney, and that had nothing to do. I mean, that she paid for the consultation that day herself, because I told them I'm not paying for shit. To be
Right.
honest with you, excuse my French.
Yeah. Okay.
But I can go by his office and ask him to give
He
me
may not have even done it.
a copy.
Well, if he's got anything that
Well,
shows
I'm
like
sure he's got the
correspondence
original
about
notes.
that
We
meeting.
spent an hour and a
Yeah.
half with this guy.
Okay.
Brittany
Right.
paid him like $150 for the.
See, we never heard back.
We never
Okay.
heard
And I
back.
just kept telling them, don't rush it. It takes
See, the
time to
paperwork
do
was
all
put.
this
He told
stuff.
us 3 weeks,
Oh, okay.
and in that, by the 4th week is when I caught her taking money out of the account.
Oh, okay.
So
So
it
that was
never
right
went
before you
anyway.
came and reported to
Uh huh.
me. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Guys, that's the only question. I just needed to clarify that with you because James evidently is willing to sit down and talk with me, so I'm going to hear him out. I'm going to ask him questions about Brittany's
I
use
just
of the
don't
account
know
and whatnot.
where. To be honest, I don't know where their head's at. We got this the other day. His truck that he co-signed for is being repoed. So I don't know if I should put it in with this and show them. You know, because we have to file. You know,
Right.
I typed a little letter up on that, and we're just going to turn it in against it for now
Now, how is this that your truck is going to get repossessed?
because you're not making the payments on it.
Oh, you mean because James isn't?
Right.
Yeah,
This was
okay.
his. Craig co-signed for him. So I think.
So the
this
truck
one-
that actually belongs to, it's your truck, right?
No, no, no,
Well,
no, no,
hold
no.
on now. I didn't
okay.
find this out till yesterday. So
Yeah.
under Colorado law, see in California, if you're a cosigner, you're just a cosigner.
Right.
You have to make up payments that are non-paid. Then you have authority. Well, in Colorado law, you're called a co-owner. So legally, I can go pick up that pickup anytime I want, whether it was behind payments or not. But he's 108 days behind on payments.
Yes, shows $2,187.52 on his,
It's-
and that's the personal 2013
What's that?
Yeah,
Ram.
it's a personal truck. It's
1500.
not
How
a
much?
business.
21? No, it's 20.
2,187.
Yeah, well, as of yesterday, it went up to
Well, that's probably the third month.
2,900. That's what I have to pay in order for them to release the truck to me.
Are they?
But he's actually 108
We don't
days
know.
behind.
You know, Craig drove out there yesterday. The truck's still sitting there.
Yeah. Are they are they still doing auctions?
They did one a couple of weeks ago. That's all we know.
Yeah.
They've averaged, the most registered buyers they had was 10 in the last 3. It's with all the crap that he went through with those girls, and then her being arrested. Like the last auction, one of the people that was there said there was only 6. They loaded they didn't even auction. They canceled it again.
Okay.
It's not really going anywhere right now.
Well, and I've been asked by
I'm hoping the
several.
courts are going to give me some kind of permission to go get my stuff,
Right.
because I'm losing money off those trailers sitting out there.
Right.
I'm losing work. I'm losing everything.
Just one other question. Is James still working for you?
No.
No.
No. So what's he doing?
He
Besides
went to work for a company called G&Z Trucking.
Oh, okay. I'd heard that because he was talking about he has to drive and he's waiting for a dispatcher and I'm going, still working for you guys?
No. He
No.
it was probably
I'll
better
never let
anyway
him
because
in another
as
one of
what
my
we
trucks
felt
again,
like.
ever.
Yeah, what we felt is that he went from the military directly to us. We've never worked in the real world per se. So I'm thinking maybe this is what he needed. You know, I'm not trying to defend him on what he's done. He just needed to see what the real working world's like. He went from military, where they tell you what to do, and he was a cop in the military. So he knows a lot of the laws in all this. They both were military police. And so this is where, what I find with her, she knows it all, in her personal opinion. She knows everything, you know, and so does he. They're that 30-year-old generation that thinks they know it all and they're
Right.
owed everything. And I think that's where they're at. You know, they've had a lot of heartache. I'm not saying they haven't. You know, lost a child, and then these girls accusing him, and he's proven them wrong, and he stood his ground, which I'm proud of. He should. If he was innocent, he should be standing his ground. Now he's saying someone else is trying to charge him. Have you heard that?
Another girl? No.
No, I don't think so. I think he's just overwhelmed, and I really think both of them need counseling. I don't think they ever grieved their son that died.
Okay.
So I think maybe sometimes what you see in incidents like this, they're owed. That generation,
Right.
you've probably seen it too. They're all owed. I'm thinking, I don't know you nothing. I worked hard to get where I'm at. You
Right.
know, and then I was mad at him the other night. Well, the last time I talked to him, I texted him. I said, "You're just like your father." He's real bad.
Yeah.
He was kind of that kind of guy. So he raised him more than I did. He lived with him until he kicked him out at 18, and he came home.
Right.
So we're hoping they'll just.
Get better. Do you guys have any questions for me?
Craig.
What? Oh, I'm trying to come up with that attorney. That's
Oh, okay.
the building right there.
Can I see it real quick?
Oh, right there. That's him. That's that guy right there.
Oh, Dan Slater.
Yeah, he's the one who drew up the draft.
Okay.
I
yeah.
wasn't being rude to you. I was
No,
trying to.
I wasn't worried.
'cause
I
I
was just
couldn't
checking to see if
remember-
you had any questions.
Yeah.
Because this
No,
wasn't
I-
even technically. I didn't
So-
hire this guy. Brittany did.
On her side,
Yeah.
they're saying now on the 19th of next month. I keep reading there's other charges. Are we allowed to know what those are?
I didn't know about that.
I mean, from what I gathered, the baby was in the car when she got arrested.
Oh, those, yeah. So maybe there's child abuse charges relating to that. I'm not sure.
Now-
I don't know. I know that the officer that contacted her had said he was thinking about doing that, but I don't really.
No,
I don't know what happened with
anywhere.
that part of it,
No,
right?
I was just curious. Just
Okay.
curious, you know.
No. But yeah, it's
Because-
public record, so it's not like it's
so
hidden.
how do I get a copy if I have to go down to the DA's?
No, just go right here to our window and
Oh,
just
okay.
ask.
I'd like a copy of
Yeah,
it.
just ask and see if she-
read through it, see what you said, because now they told me that our grandson will not see us because I know what happened. She made a big scene and they're talking about us in front of him, an 8-year-old. They should not be doing that, and I think it's wrong because during all James's court stuff, even with Rhett and the Humphrey issue,
Yeah,
we never talked in front of him about it.
Yeah.
We never did because it
which
wasn't
is right.
fair.
That's right. Yeah.
Because he's too young to understand. And even with the 2-year-old she has, I thought, you're the one that looks like you cheated, not him. You
Right.
know, I don't care if he is sleeping with other girls. You cheated. you
Right.
know? I mean, it's obvious. So,
Who? With your years' experience, what direction do you think this is going to go?
I don't know, because this is weird. I've had most of my embezzlements have been pretty straightforward. You know what I mean? I don't think this is going to cause a problem. I have talked with the DA about it, make sure that's the case. But I'm going to talk to James if he still wants to talk to me and get a statement from him, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, because that company was dissolved. It's never existed. There's
We've never been paid
any
under
type
that
of
name.
money
It's always been
transferred.
trucking.
There's been no insurance attached to it. It's a non-operating company.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
it was
even
just one of
states in
those
there
things.
that the delinquency was back in 2019. So
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
we
pretty
just
sure
made
we're
sure.
solid.
You know, I just deleted everything out
Okay.
because we just
Yeah.
it was.
I'm pretty sure
More
we're solid
work?
on that.
Okay.
Yeah, I know it was more work and money that I just didn't go.
Right.
Yeah, if there would have been something like that for the trucking part of it,
Mm-hmm.
then yeah, I could totally see it 100%. But
Yeah,
that company doesn't exist.
Okay.
Yeah, we never used it.
Has your business picked back up? Is it getting better?
No, because actually I've been put in a position I'm down to one truck.
Even though you have two other drivers?
Yeah, I have one driver and I sold the other truck. So I
Oh, so
always say
Norm
two
doesn't work
drivers.
for you? Or
Yeah,
what?
Norm works for me and that's it.
Oh, Willie, he took
I
off?
sold him the truck.
Oh, you sold him the truck?
So he
Okay.
makes a payment every month.
He makes
Oh,
the
okay.
payment. We have a
I mean,
contract between us, so
Alrighty.
he works for me, so he's under my authority. But he's actually I'm selling him the truck.
Okay. Are you going to try to increase your company
Yeah,
now, or
once
are you
we
going to?
get done with all this?
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, I understand, guys. I
Yeah.
understand.
Yeah,
Well, if I
it's
can
just-
help you, let me know.
Yeah, trucking
give me a
is
holler.
like really hard, and then trying to, it's not even buying the trucks. Jeff, I can go buy 5 trucks tomorrow.
Yeah.
I still have decent credit there that she hasn't because I didn't find this out. I didn't know until Sunday when the repo scout drove by my house.
Oh.
I told her we were coming home from the Oaks. I said, that's a
I
repo
said no.
guy.
I said that's a Google person.
Was it coming by your house?
Yeah, looking
Yeah.
for James's truck.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
see, Jay, okay.